Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates.
Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the Mahindra XUV700 Diesel Automatic. But since I've done a lot of vlogs on the XUV already, today I'm going to be comparing this car with its chief rival, the Tata Safari. But before we get going, I want to share something interesting with you guys. When you're purchasing your new car, it's important to see how smartly you can save money. The biggest and most important factor in increasing your benefits can be insurance. With Acko insurance, you can save up to rupees 50,000 on your premiums. But when you say low premium, people think it means lesser coverage. But that isn't true. You get the same coverage by saving your money on low premiums. And when it comes to your car claims, Acko has a 3-day car repair policy where there are no follow-ups, no calls, none of that. All you have to do is feed your claim on the Acko app and you can simply track the progress on your claim with no hassle, and it's completely cashless. Take my advice, you should choose Acko as it's smart, effective and convenient, as you can manage your policies on the go, and it helps you save money as they offer zero commission plans, because of which your premiums are low. So before buying a car, head to www.acko.com or download the app on the App Store, link in the description. And back to the vlog. First and foremost, let me tell you that in terms of appearance, I definitely feel that the Tata Safari looks better and more SUV-ish, although both of these cars come with front-wheel drive layout, but the Tata Safari also gets a rough road or a terrain modes or something of that sort. This car does get the option of all-wheel drive, making it more SUV than, of course, the Safari. So in terms of design, I think Mahindra's kind of overdone it, and it's too much of an evolution when compared to the XUV500. However, some interesting bits like the door handles pop out like this. That's cool. That's something which the Safari obviously does not get. And the size difference is very minor between both the cars. So both are almost the same in terms of dimensions. However, the Safari definitely looks more rugged, more SUV-ish as well. But there are a lot of differences in other factors. First and foremost, the XUV is really loaded to the brim. The Safari just cannot hold a candle to the amount of features Mahindra has offered in the XUV. So for starters, when you open the door, the seat actually goes behind. It also gets memory seats. That's something which the Safari does not get. It gets 360-degree cameras, which again the Safari does not get, and it gets a fantastic infotainment system, this 10.25-inch unit, which is way better than the 8.8-inch unit which you get in the Safari. In fact, it's part digital here in the Safari. This one gets a full digital one. Again, 10.25. The lights are turned on, that's why you can't see anything. Now you can though. So definitely in terms of tech and features, the XUV700 is just far ahead than the Safari. But it doesn't get an auto dimming inside rear view mirror, which the Safari gets, and the Safari also gets ventilated front seats as well as ventilated rear seats in the 6-seater option in the Gold edition, but the Mahindra does not get. But other than that, it gets almost everything else. Like, it gets blind view monitor, that's so cool. It also gets a 360-degree parking camera, which obviously the Safari misses out on, and it gets a 12-speaker 3D surround sound system from Sony. Meanwhile, the Safari comes with a JBL system with 9 speakers, although audio quality is very similar. I think the bass is better in the Safari, of course. However, here the options of tuning the whole system is just crazy. Okay, if I get into audio, you see there are so many things which I can actually alter as per my requirement. Again, a fantastic thing. Plus, it obviously gets ADAS functions, which is not there in the Safari. It also gets a knee airbag, which is not there in the Safari. In terms of features, no contest. The XUV700 is just miles better. I'm so sorry, Tata, but you really need to update the infotainment system on your car. The one on the XUV really blows everything out of the water. I know both of them get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto Connectivity, wireless and stuff like that. But this is just another level altogether. Look at that driver attention level. Well done, Mahindra, well done. So round 1 goes to Mahindra for sure. Yeah, drive modes, both of them actually get it, and a lot of piano black finishing, wireless charger, and the usual bits which both of the cars get. But overall quality levels are actually better in the Mahindra because you get some soft material here. Even in the Tata you get, but hard plastics are also there in both the cars. The seats are actually more comfortable in the XUV. Yeah, the seats are more comfortable. Meanwhile, the panoramic roof, okay, let me try and open it. It's easier to open the roof and operate the roof in the Safari. Here it's a little difficult. However, the panoramic roof is slightly, okay, I didn't want to open that. Why are you opening? I just need to, oh my goodness, I hate this. I absolutely hate this, and that's where I actually miss the Safari. So this is actually slightly into bigger than what we actually see in the Safari. So yeah, another amazing thing. But the car costing so much, no auto dimming mirror is absolutely obnoxious. So let's get out. Okay, Features and dashboard design, well, definitely the Mahindra. Although I like the dashboard design of the Safari, I think ergonomically both are not that great because switch control is not very ergonomically placed. In the Safari, your left leg, the knee fouls with the center console there, so certain aspects of the ergonomics need to be sorted out in both the cars. Now let's get to the boot. Now boot space is very chintu mintu with all the rows up. However, in the XUV, okay, this is going to open now. Yeah, it's actually easier to open the boot lid because it's made of fiber. The one on the Safari is metal, so you need to put in some effort there, of course. And the boot space is slightly bigger in the XUV with all the rows up, and even with the rows down, it's slightly bigger in the XUV, so not much of a difference. Now the Safari comes with multiple options, like you can get a 6-seater or a 7-seater. In the XUV, you can get a 5-seater or a 7-seater, so no captain seats in the middle row. Although in the Safari, I would prefer the 7-seater over the 6-seater because the center row of seats are not that great with the captain seats. I mean, the captain seats are not that great in terms of overall comfort, but you get ventilation in the middle row, which is absolutely crazy. No ventilation here at all in the XUV, so that's a missed opportunity. Although both of them get the boss mode function where you can just use this lever and push the seats ahead. Look at that amount of room. But the Safari has more space in the center, plus obviously you can move the seat in the Safari ahead and behind. This one does not move. This is a fixed seat, so there is no sliding mechanism in the XUV. Again, a missed opportunity, I would say. And the AC vent placement is again better in the Safari, but the USB-C placement is better in the XUV, but that's in the middle row. Middle row seats are also very comfortable here. I mean, more comfortable in the XUV any day. But that said, space, Tata kills it there. Honestly, they just kill it, not just in the second row, but also in the third row. Now, the third row of seats are just better in the Safari Plus because you can slide forward the second row of seats, you can increase or decrease the legroom in the third row, plus AC vent placement is better in the Safari, plus it also gets a USB charging socket. Here you get a 12-volt charging socket somewhere there, so that again is better. So if you're looking for a 7-seater, definitely the Safari is a better car any day. Meanwhile, if you're looking for tech, if you're looking for features, nothing beats the XUV in this regard. So let's just shut this and let me try and recline the seat here. Okay, there you see. Now you can increase the boot carrying capacity, but with the last row down, of course the XUV has slightly better room as such. Here I was telling you 12-volt charging socket is there. Let me turn off the air conditioning making some noise. However, in the Safari you get a USB, which is a good touch, but this is so freaking easy because this is made of fiber, much easier to operate as well. So as far as I see, the Safari definitely looks better than the XUV and has a better third row of seats, better second row of space, but the overall seats are just better in the XUV, and the XUV blows the Safari out of the park in terms of features, in terms of tech, in terms of safety. 7 airbags here compared to 6 airbags in the Safari. So yeah, Mahindra is not only ahead in terms of passive but even active safety features. In fact, that's not all. The funny bit is this car gets 5-star rating in global NCAP tests. The Safari has not yet been tested. The screen is also better, more responsive as well, more fluid. So yeah, come on Mahindra, you are actually winning at the moment. But in terms of driving ability, who is better? Let's start driving right away. Alright, we're all set to go, which means turning off the air conditioning. Okay, it gets a dual zone climate control air conditioning system. Safari gets a single zone. We're going to get into drive mode. You can't go through the drive mode using this switch, unfortunately. You have to press the touchscreen, so we're going to get into the best, which is the zoom mode. We're going to turn off traction control as well. We're going to get into drive. I'm going to get into manual. And I'm also going to change this thing to show you how much power and torque is being consumed in real time. It doesn't show you the number, just like a graph. Okay, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, hazard light off, revving the motor. Yeah, at 60 kilometers per hour, traction control automatically turns on, and ADAS systems actually turn off when the traction control is turned off. So this is the diesel automatic. Let's take a couple of minutes to talk about the diesel automatic. 185 horsepower and 450 Newton meters of torque, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, around 10 seconds. It's around half a second slower than the manual. It's a decently quick shifting gearbox. This is a 6-speed torque converter unit. It's actually fast enough, I would say, for a diesel automatic. But the best thing is it gives you that convenience of driving, which is really nice. And I think the engine is also very refined, drivability is good, has a good mid-range punch, lacks in the top end. So overall, yes, a very good diesel automatic. But we are obviously discussing how it compares with the Safari. Now this diesel engine has more displacement, has more power, has more torque, is better in terms of performance, better in terms of kickdown, better in terms of in-gear acceleration, better in every aspect. 2200cc when compared to the Safari's 2000cc engine. diesels, of course, 4 cylinders, and this one produces 15 horsepower more and 100 Newton meters more power and torque respectively, because the Safari produces 170 and 350 Newton meters. Now the comparison should not be between Mahindra and Tata, because the comparison should be between Mahindra and Jeep, because the engine obviously comes from the Compass. But then the gearbox comparison would be between Mahindra and Hyundai, because the 6-speed torque converter automatic gearbox in the Safari actually comes from Hyundai. Anyways, it's a lot of mix and match and sourcing of stuff from here and there. That does not matter. What matters is that the performance of the XUV is just miles better. It feels in another league altogether. It's almost 2 seconds faster to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. That is the level of performance advantage which the XUV700 Diesel Automatic has over the Safari Diesel Automatic. The Safari does not get a petrol option. The XUV also gets a state-of-the-art petrol engine with both manual and automatic gearbox options. Oh my god, Mahindra is running away in the performance stakes as well. Here we are. I'm just going to get into the zap mode right away. We're going to get out of this mode. Okay, there we are. We're going to get out of this mode, and I'm going to get into, where is the screen? Yeah, fun with XUV700. So you can actually see how the power and torque is being consumed, or rather, whatever. Here, traction control off, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor. Yeah, it does torque steer quite a lot. In fact, both the Safari as well as the XUV700 have the same identical tire size as well. A lot of things which are common yet so different between both the cars. So in terms of performance, again, the XUV700 is just leagues better. It's like fantabulous. Gearbox options, I mean, both of them are 6-speed torque converter units. Not much of a difference as such. Both are smooth shifting, both are fast enough. But I think I love the way the manual mode works here in the XUV. Yeah, I think it does a better job. Here we are. Refinement levels are again better in the XUV when compared to the Tata Safari. So again, something which is better in the XUV, but mileage is actually better in the Safari, the fuel efficiency. You know why? Because Mahindra never tunes a car for fuel efficiency. They always tune it for performance, and that's something which is very nice indeed. Both the cars have drive modes. This one has zip, zap, zoom, which is very, I would say, weird naming, but it produces 155 horsepower in zip mode, and in zap and zoom it produces 185 horsepower. So what is the difference between zap and zoom? Well, the difference is in the throttle response. It feels more peaky, the throttle, when you drive it in zoom mode, of course, and there's some difference in the steering weight as well. Now in terms of handling, you would expect the Safari to be better, but there's a bit of a disappointment here, because the steering is better calibrated in the XUV. Firstly, it is lighter at low speed, so much easier to maneuver, and it weighs up also better than what is there in the Safari, because in the XUV you get an electronic steering, electronic power steering, EPS. In the Safari you get a hydraulic unit, so it's like really very heavy at low speeds, weighs up decently well at high speeds, but I think the handling is better in the Safari. It feels that it has that robustness to it. It just feels so much more enjoyable to drive. This feels a little hairy at high speeds because it kind of has more top heaviness, and then not to forget a softer suspension, because of which you can see under heavy braking there's this nose dive which is very apparent in the XUV. In the Safari though, that nose dive is not that apparent. Only thing is the pedal feel is not the best, so braking performance could be better in both the cars. Both get all-wheel discs as well. So low speed driving in the city, XUV excels any day. Driving at higher speeds out on the highway, it's the Safari which excels, because even the ride is such. At lower speeds, the XUV's ride is just better. It has got frequency selective dampers, and you cannot deny the fact it absorbs bumps at lower speeds much better, where the Safari actually feels a bit uneasy. It will crash through at lower speeds, but as the speeds increase, trust me, it is the Safari which feels so much better in terms of high speed ride. Even high speed stability is just so much better. We're just going to get into the zip mode right now, and there you can see, will this change? Yeah, it did. So onto the throttle, I can feel that lack of grunt, going away as soon as I change into zip mode. So I think zap is getting the job done, but zoom is the best. So we're just going to get into that, because that's where all the performance lies. Trust me, performance unbeatable. This XUV700 is so good in terms of performance. So I would say that the Safari is better in terms of handling, in terms of high speed ride. The XUV is better in terms of city drivability, in overall performance, in city ride as well, and easy maneuverability. So it's like neck and neck between both the cars. But where the big difference is that the XUV700 has state-of-the-art ADAS system, like really amazing ones. Okay, you've got forward collision warning, you've got automatic emergency braking, you've got lane keep assist, you've got high speed light, something of that sort. High speed, I can't recollect that name, but what it does is basically high beam or something like that. High beam assist, what it does is it goes on low beam if it detects that there's someone ahead of you, so that it doesn't blind them. So really amazing system. In fact, it's got adaptive cruise control as well. Mahindra has hit the ball out of the park with the level of ADAS systems in this car. Like, safety has been of paramount importance, but you know what, everything works so well. It's like amazing, like everything works so beautifully well in this car. I'm so impressed by the way Mahindra's tuned everything. Beautiful, really very nice. And this blind spot monitor is also very, very nice. In fact, the XUV gets all LED lights, headlights, not tail lights. In the Safari though, you get halogens and it's a xenon light. So again, whenever it comes to features, now Mahindra is just ahead somehow, which is just goes to show crazy value for money in this car. And I'm quite surprised at how beautifully well the ADAS systems work on this car. So what we're going to do is we're going to come to a halt, and obviously I'm going to turn off traction control again, and we're going to launch this vehicle. Here, ESP off, revving the motor. Manual mode, yeah, and it shifts. So gearbox is a little confused. I think the Hyundai gearbox is slightly lesser confused in that regard. And again, the XUV has an advantage in terms of the number of variants on offer. So it has got 23 variants, because obviously it also gets petrol, which the Safari does not. It gets petrol both in manual as well as automatic. And let's not forget, it also gets a lower powered version of the diesel at 155 horsepower. So much more options for buyers who are looking to buy a car in this segment with the XUV. With the Safari, of course, you're limited because you just get one single engine, thankfully in both manual as well as automatic gearbox options. So here we are, so spirited. This car just pulls really nice and strong, which is so amazing as well. And what I really like is how well lane keep assist works. Okay, it started to work, and it's just like so good. That's not the best lane to try it on, the last lane. Let's keep some margin for error, but it works so well now. Whenever I say that it works so well now, the XUV is going to disappoint me. I'm like, you are praising me in front of everybody, but I'm not going to let you keep your head high there. So it just doesn't work in front of the camera. I'm just kidding. It does work quite nicely, because I think the lane markings are slightly better ahead. And let's just try this. Come on, do not disappoint me. Okay, the Tata Safari is looking at us. Are we able to manage this? And yeah, that's how it's done. Keep hands on steering wheel is what it says. Very nice indeed. Adaptive cruise control works beautifully well. All the ADAS systems, surprisingly and shockingly, work so nice on this car. I never thought it would be able to execute everything so nicely there. Collision possible, it automatically applied brakes, and obviously it gives you the warning and all. I'm just so impressed by the XUV's ADAS systems. So I think it's a clear ball out of the park moment for the Mahindra XUV700. So the winner of this comparison happens to be you. Yes, that's right. You guys are the winners of this comparison. You know why? Because we no longer have to buy under-equipped, overpriced cars with a single powertrain option, Volkswagen Tiguan, because now we have options like the Mahindra XUV700 and the Tata Safari. Okay, we'll keep being politically correct aside. And the winner is, of course, the XUV700. So if you're looking to buy a car this year or next year, I would suggest the Tata Safari, because even if you want to buy the XUV700, you cannot, because people are booking the car right now. They're getting a delivery date of May 2023. That's like almost 2 years away, which means that if you're looking to buy a car immediately, the Tata Safari is your only option. But yeah, there is no denying the fact that the XUV700 is a better overall package, a better rounded package, a better tech package, a better comfort package, a better performance package, I can keep going endlessly. The Safari is a better 7-seater and more rugged. It feels more off-road ready, although it doesn't get all-wheel drive, but still the Safari definitely feels more rugged, more SUV, but it needs all-wheel drive. And yes, Tata needs to sort out that infotainment system, and once it does that, I think the Safari would be back in the game. But unfortunately, the Safari's pricing is also on the premium side, because the XUV is priced so aggressively. This is priced at 26.76 lakhs on road Mumbai, making it a very attractive proposition. In fact, the price ranges between 15 to 28 lakhs. So people are looking to buy something on a budget. The XUV700 fits there as well, where the Safari comes across as a bit too expensive, because obviously it doesn't get a petrol engine. And when you actually drive the XUV500 and then the XUV700, you realize Mahindra has made leaps and bounds improvements in terms of the way the car drives. It's just so much better in every regard. So I think the XUV700 definitely is probably the car of this year. Fantastic, like ADAS systems, everything, like they've just catered to everything so beautifully well. Yeah, Tata needs to buck up, and I'm sure they will. And when Tata will come up with maybe the updated version of the Safari and all, competition is going to be tough. But will they offer ADAS is something I'm thinking about, because that's a big and brave move. ADAS is something you really don't need. You don't want it either, but once you use it, you realize it's such a boon. It's just so good as well, and it's something which, I mean, keeps the car ringing all the time. Like, okay, when you're leaving a lane, look at this. This is a sharp braking turn. It's able to manage here as well. So guys, this is my comparison between the Mahindra XUV700 and the Tata Safari. I know they are birds of the same feather and they also flock together, but people are completely confused which car to buy. Remember one thing, I think Mahindra's overall sales and service network is slightly better than what is of Tata Motors. However, Tata is also improving in that regard, and maintenance cost will be more or less the same. But we cannot forget one thing, that the Safari has been on sale for a longer duration, so initial hiccups will be better resolved in the Safari. And even if you plan to buy the XUV today, initial hiccups will be resolved by the time you get your car, which is maybe after 4 or 5 years. Just kidding, you will get it in 2023 if you book today, or maybe even later if you book later. So we're just going to launch it one last time, because I want to hear the way the tires screech on this car. Feels somehow very composed, this XUV700. Very surprising, huh? Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor. I use indicators because of this beautiful blind view monitor. I know many of you will be like, अगर features ही लेने तो Creta ले लेंगे या Seltos ले लेंगे, but this is a car along with features also offers you ADAS, also offers you stonking performance, decent handling, good ride comfort. So definitely the XUV700 is much better than the Korean siblings. There's no denying that fact. Even the Safari is better, but then these cars cost slightly more because they're bigger in terms of size and they offer, I mean, I can keep going on and on about the XUV as well as the Safari. So let's just end this vlog. Bye bye. Okay, I know this vlog is over, but I can't help show you the adaptive cruise control because it's just so amazing. So we're going to turn on adaptive cruise control. Here it's on standby. We're just going to set a speed. Here I have actually set the speed, and as soon as I get into adaptive cruise control, immediately it gets out of zoom mode and it gets into zap mode. But you can also drive the car in zip mode with adaptive cruise control. I'm just going to set a speed of around 60 kilometers per hour. Notice my legs. Okay, I'm not going to be applying brakes. It is around 59. Yeah, I think one more and we will be at 60. There, we are at 60 kilometers per hour. I don't need to keep my hands on the steering wheel because obviously the lane keep assist works beautifully well on this car. So here adaptive cruise control is working very nicely. Now what it exactly does is it is able to identify if the car ahead or motorcycle or truck or bus or anything of that sort is slowing down, and when it does, it will automatically apply brakes. So I have just come into the right lane right now. Just going to increase the speed because I think everyone is driving the same speed as the cruise control speed which I have set at the moment. And you know what it will do? It will automatically reduce the speed of the car when it senses that the other person is braking, and then it's automatically going to pick up pace. So here you can see my legs are not touching anything. Here it started to brake already. Here we are at 55 kilometers per hour, and it will continue to reduce the speed as long as the car ahead continues to reduce the speed. And that is how beautifully well the adaptive cruise control works. And as soon as that car is out of my sight, it's gone to the right side, the car is able to sense it and then pick up pace again. And then here we are going to get to the regular speed. I think 65 kilometers per hour is what I had set. Wow, what a beautiful system. Works so nicely. I'm so proud of Mahindra for getting the ADAS system right on their car. Again, it applied brake because it sensed there's a motorcycle ahead. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Bye bye.